Ladies and gentlemen, hear me today. You've been crying about the fight you're in. You've been asking God, why me? And you've been looking at your struggle as punishment. But I came to tell you, it's not punishment, it's preparation. The battle you're facing right now is not meant to break you. It's meant to shape you. The heat of the fire is forging your character. The weight of the burden is building your strength. Every tear you've cried, every night you've wrestled, every valley you've walked through has been training ground for your crown. Stop despising the battle. Stop running from the pressure. Stop cursing the storm. This is your classroom, and God is your trainer. He's building in you what you'll need to wear the crown. He's already designed for your head. Don't you understand? A crown without a battle is just decoration. But a crown after a fight, a crown after the scars, a crown after the sleepless nights, that crown is proof you survived what was sent to destroy you. So lift your head, square your shoulders, and plant your feet. This is not the end of you. This is the making of you. You're not just fighting for survival, you're training for dominion. The battle is the rehearsal, the crown is the reward. And if you don't faint in the fire, you will rise in the glory of your destiny. Now turn to your neighbor and tell them, I'm not losing this battle. I'm training for my crown. Every time you find yourself in a struggle, you've got to shift your perspective. Because if you don't, you will spend your life thinking that battles are punishments, when in reality they are lessons. And let me tell you something, God is the greatest teacher you will ever have. But his classrooms don't look like what you expect. His classrooms don't come with whiteboards and desks. They come with valleys and storms, disappointments and betrayals, tears on your pillow and weight on your shoulders. Every battle you're facing is God's way of teaching you something you could not learn in comfort. And if you can stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as preparation, you'll graduate into the destiny He has waiting for you. You see, when a soldier goes to war, he doesn't just grab a sword and run into the field. No, he has to be trained. He has to learn strategy. He has to build endurance. He has to discover his weaknesses so they can be strengthened. And that's exactly what God is doing in your life. This fight you're in right now, it's not about destroying you. It's about developing you. You think the enemy is winning, but God is teaching you how to fight back. You think you're under attack, but really you're under instruction. And instruction hurts. Instruction stretches. Instruction will make you feel like quitting. But instruction will save your life when the real test comes. That's why some of you keep going through the same type of battle again and again. You think you're cursed, but the truth is you just haven't passed the test yet. God loves you too much to let you graduate without the lesson. He knows that if you step into your destiny without discipline, the weight of the crown will crush you. So he lets you repeat the course until you've built the character to carry the crown. That heartbreak wasn't meant to kill you. It was meant to teach you discernment. That financial setback wasn't meant to embarrass you. It was meant to teach you stewardship. That betrayal wasn't meant to destroy your trust. It was meant to show you who deserves your loyalty and who doesn't. Every test is a classroom, and every classroom is shaping your crown. The problem with most of us is we want the crown without the class. We want the promise without the process. We want God to put us on the throne without training us in the trenches. But if you skip the lesson, you'll never be ready for the level. Some of you are frustrated because you feel stuck. But let me tell you something, God has not forgotten you. He's just still teaching you. He's building patience in you when you want speed. He's building faith in you when you want evidence. He's building resilience in you when you want relief. Because the crown you're called to carry cannot sit on a shallow head. It requires depth. It requires strength. It requires maturity. And maturity only comes through the classroom of conflict. Think about David. Before he ever wore a crown, he fought lions and bears in the field. Before he ever sat on the throne, he fought Goliath in the valley. Those were his classrooms. And if he had failed those tests, he never would have had the strength to rule a kingdom. Think about Joseph. Before he ever became second in command of Egypt, he was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and locked in a prison. Those were his classrooms. And what the enemy meant for evil, God used as education. What looked like a battle was actually a lesson in leadership. And if Joseph had not been faithful in the classroom, he would never have been trusted with the crown. And here's the thing, God doesn't waste pain. Every single thing you've been through is teaching you something. You just have to pay attention. Some of you think you lost years, but you didn't lose them. You learned from them. Some of you think you wasted tears, but those tears watered the ground of your growth. Some of you think you failed, but those failures were lessons that will save you from future destruction. You're not behind schedule. You're right on time in the curriculum of God. So stop despising your battle. Stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's the lesson? Because as long as you see yourself as a victim of the fight, you'll never become the victor of the crown. But when you embrace the fact that every hit is a lesson, every storm is a training session, every loss is a lecture, you will start to grow in ways you never imagined. And the enemy will be confused because he thought the battle would break you, but instead it built you. He thought the storm would drown you, but instead it taught you how to swim. He thought the betrayal would silence you, but instead it gave you a voice of wisdom. That's how God works. He takes the very thing that was designed to hurt you and turns it into your education. The truth is, the greater the crown, the tougher the class. That's why your battle has been so fierce. You've been wondering why your struggle seems heavier than everybody else's. But it's because your calling is higher than everybody else's. The weight of your destiny requires a different level of training. Don't compare your fight to somebody else's. Compare it to the size of your crown. Because God wouldn't let you go through it if He didn't know you were built to handle it. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you know, and tougher than you realize. And the proof is the fact that you're still here. So wipe your tears, Square your shoulders and tell yourself this is not just a fight. This is a class. I'm learning patience. I'm learning endurance. I'm learning faith. I'm learning to trust God when I can't trace Him. I'm learning to stand when I feel like falling. I'm learning to pray when I feel like quitting. And when this class is over, I'll be promoted into the purpose He planned for me all along. Because every battle is a classroom, and the crown is waiting for the graduate. Pressure will make you think that God is against you, when in reality, pressure is the very proof that God is working for you. Because the truth is, anything valuable, anything worth keeping, anything that carries glory, is formed under pressure. Diamonds are born under pressure. Oil is pressed out of the olive through pressure. Gold is purified in the fire of pressure. And you, child of God, are no different. The pressure you are feeling right now is not the evidence of your destruction. It is the evidence of your destiny. God would not put you through it if He didn't see something valuable inside of you. Some of you have been praying, Lord, lift this burden. Lord, take away this fight. Lord, ease this pain. And God is saying, I'm not punishing you. I'm preparing you. If I take the pressure away, I take away your strength. If I remove the fire, I remove your purity. If I pull back the storm, I deny you the strength to endure. So instead of begging God to take the pressure off, you need to start thanking Him for trusting you with it. Because pressure is proof that He's preparing you for something bigger than where you are right now. Do you understand that champions are not made on the day of the fight? They are made in the gym under pressure. It's the sweat, the pain, the repetition, the discipline under pressure that produces a fighter capable of winning. In the same way, you cannot sit on the throne God has for you until you've endured the weight of training under pressure. Pressure is not the enemy. It is the coach. Pressure is not your punishment. It is your promotion in disguise. When the olive is crushed, that's when the oil comes forth. Without the crushing, there is no anointing. And that's why some of you are under so much pressure. Because the oil on your life is costly. If it didn't cost you pressure, it wouldn't carry power. That heartbreak was pressing you. That disappointment was pressing you. That betrayal was pressing you. And while you thought it was destroying you, God was squeezing something out of you. An anointing you didn't even know you had. You were crying over the crushing, but you didn't realize that oil was dripping out of you. And that oil is what will set you apart when it's time for your crown. Don't confuse pressure with punishment. Punishment comes to condemn you, but pressure comes to correct you. Punishment is about your past, but pressure is about your future. Punishment is a weight that destroys, but pressure is a weight that builds. That's why you're still here, even after everything you've gone through. If it was punishment, it would have wiped you out. But because it's preparation, it's strengthening you. What didn't kill you was never meant to. It was meant to build a resilience in you that no devil in hell can break. Think about a seed. When it's buried in the ground, it feels the weight of dirt, the suffocation of darkness, the heaviness of being hidden. But that seed is not being punished. it's being prepared. The soil pressing against it is activating the life within it. And if that seed had feelings, it would probably cry out, "Why am I buried? Why am I crushed? Why can't I see the light?" But God knows that without the pressure of the soil, the seed will never grow roots. And without roots, it cannot stand when the storms come. You are that seed. What looks like burial is actually planting. What feels like punishment is actually preparation. And if you hold on, you're going to sprout into something greater than you've ever imagined. Pressure reveals what's inside of you. Anybody can praise God when the sun is shining and the bills are paid. Anybody can smile when their friends are loyal and their body is healthy. But when you are under pressure, when the doctor's report is bad, when the money is gone, when the betrayal cuts deep, what comes out of you then is the real you. Pressure pushes faith out of you. Pressure pushes prayer out of you. Pressure pushes worship out of you. And some of you would have never discovered how much you love God, how much you trust God, how much you depend on God, if it hadn't been for the pressure. That's why you ought to stop cursing the pressure and start thanking God for it. The pressure is producing power in you. The pressure is creating wisdom in you. The pressure is teaching you patience. The pressure is sharpening your discernment. And the pressure is preparing you for a platform that you could not stand on without this season of training. Think of Jesus in Gethsemane. The Bible says he prayed until his sweat became like drops of blood. That was pressure. He knew the cross was ahead. He felt the weight of sin, the weight of betrayal, the weight of obedience. And in that garden, he was crushed like an olive. But it was in that crushing that the oil of redemption was released for all mankind. Without Gethsemane, there would be no Calvary. Without pressure, there would be no power. And you, my friend, have your own Gethsemane moments. You've had nights where you didn't think you could take another step. You've had moments when you said, "Lord, this is too much for me." But those moments were not punishments. They were the preparation grounds for the crown you're going to carry. If Jesus had to go through pressure to fulfill his purpose, why do you think you won't? The servant is not greater than the master. If he had to endure it, so will you. But just like him, you will rise on the other side in victory. The reason pressure feels unbearable is because it's squeezing out the old version of you. It's pressing out immaturity. It's pressing out pride. It's pressing out fear. And it's pressing in wisdom, pressing in humility, pressing in faith, pressing in courage. By the time this season is over, you won't even recognize yourself. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be crowned. And when people see the glory on your life, they won't even understand the story that produced it. So the next time you feel the weight of pressure, instead of asking God, "Why me?" ask, "God, what are you building in me?" Because he never wastes pressure. He never applies weight where it is not needed. And if he allowed it, it means there's something inside you that has to be unlocked before you step into your next level. Pressure is preparation, not punishment. And when you finally stand in the place God has destined for you, you will look back at every tear, every heartbreak, every crushing moment, and you will say, it was worth it. Every ounce of pressure was worth it because it prepared me for my crown. When you look at your life, you see scars. Scars on your heart, scars on your mind, scars on your spirit. And the enemy has tried to convince you that those scars mean you're broken, that those scars mean you failed, that those scars mean you'll never be whole again. But let me tell you something, scars are not signs of defeat. Scars are evidence that you survived. The wound didn't kill you. The betrayal didn't end you. The storm didn't drown you. The fact that you have a scar means you went through the fire, but you came out alive. And every scar you carry is a testimony that what the devil meant for evil, God turned for good. See wounds bleed, wounds hurt, wounds leave you weak. But when a wound turns into a scar, it means it has healed. The blood has dried up. The pain has lessened. The flesh has closed. The scar is a seal of victory. You don't have to be ashamed of your scars. You ought to hold your head high because your scars tell a story. Your scars say, yes, I was hurt, but I'm still here. Your scars say, yes, I was knocked down, but I got back up again. Your scars say, yes, I went through hell, but I came out with heaven's strength in me. Scars are not ugly. Scars are beautiful because they are proof that you made it. Look at Jesus after the resurrection. When he came back, he still had scars in his hands and in his side. And when Thomas doubted, Jesus didn't hide his scars. He showed them. Why? Because his scars were the evidence of his victory. They weren't reminders of his defeat. They were receipts of his triumph. He didn't bleed in vain. He didn't suffer for nothing. The scars were proof that death had done its worst and still lost. And if Jesus himself didn't erase his scars, why are you ashamed of yours? Don't hide what you went through. Don't cover what God healed. Show your scars, because somebody else needs to see them. Somebody else needs to know that if God brought you through it, he can bring them through it too. Scars talk louder than sermons. You can tell people God is a healer, but when you show them your scar, they believe it. You can tell people God is a provider, but when you testify about the bankruptcy you survived, they believe it. You can tell people God is faithful, but when you show them the scar from that season you thought you'd never recover from, they believe it. Your scars are your credentials. Your scars are your authority. You are not anointed because you avoided pain. You are anointed because you survived it. Don't let the enemy twist the meaning of your scars. He wants you to see them as shame, but God says they are signs. They are signs of his mercy, signs of his power, signs of his faithfulness. You don't have to be embarrassed about the marriage that failed, the job you lost, the mistake you made, the sickness you battled. You lived through it. You came out on the other side. The scar is your proof. Proof you are stronger than the attack. Proof you are wiser than the deception. Proof you are tougher than the storm. Proof that God's hand is on your life. And here's the thing, scars don't just show survival, they also show strength. Because every scar means you endured pain and didn't quit. It means you held on when it would have been easier to let go. It means you got back up when it would have been easier to stay down. Anybody can run when life gets tough, but only warriors keep fighting until the wound heals into a scar. And you, my friend, are a warrior. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You've been through battles that would have broken someone else. You've survived storms that would have sunk somebody else. You've carried weights that would have crushed somebody else. But here you are, scarred but standing, bruised but breathing, tested but triumphant. You may not even realize it, but your scars are crowns in disguise. Every scar is a jewel on the crown you're being prepared to wear. Every scar adds weight to your testimony. Every scar deepens your compassion. Every scar increases your wisdom. And when you finally step into the fullness of your calling, your scars will be part of the glory. People will look at you and wonder how you shine so bright. And you'll be able to say, because I went through the dark, because I went through the valley, because I walked through fire, and I carry the proof on me. Think about a tree after a storm. The lightning may have struck it, the wind may have bent it, the rain may have beaten it down. But when you walk past that tree years later, you see the scars on the bark. And those scars don't mean the tree is dead. They mean the tree is alive. The scars are proof that the storm came, but it didn't win. And that's you. You are living proof that the storm could not stop what God planted in you. Let me tell you, this scars also protect you. Because once you've been hurt in a certain place, that area grows tougher. You learn lessons you'll never forget. You develop discernment you never had before. You see red flags you used to ignore. That scar keeps you from going back into the same trap, the same mistake, the same cycle. The pain taught you. The scar reminds you, and the wisdom protects you. So instead of hiding your scars, start thanking God for them. Thank Him that you survived when you thought you wouldn't. Thank Him that the wound closed when you thought it never would. Thank Him that He turned your pain into power, your test into testimony, your mess into ministry. Your scars are your sermon. Your scars are your song. Your scars are your strength. The world glorifies people who look perfect, untouched, flawless. But God glorifies people who are scarred, healed, and still standing. Because it's not about perfection, it's about perseverance. It's not about having no wounds, it's about overcoming the wounds. Your scars don't disqualify you, they qualify you. They qualify you for the crown. They qualify you for the calling. They qualify you for the blessing. So stop seeing your scars as reminders of pain and start seeing them as reminders of grace. Grace carried you through. Grace held you together. Grace gave you breath when the enemy thought you'd choke. And now, when you look at your scars, don't cry over what hurt you. Smile over what healed you. Because the scar doesn't point to the battle. It points to the victory. Your scars are proof of survival, not signs of defeat. And the next time the enemy whispers to you, look at what you lost, you tell him, look at what I lived through. Look at what I overcame. Look at the scars that prove I made it. Because if you have scars, you already have evidence that the battle is won. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants the struggle that produces the strength to carry it. A crown looks beautiful on the outside, but it is heavy on the inside. It is not made for weak necks or fragile shoulders. And that is why God does not hand crowns to children. He hands crowns to warriors. He hands crowns to those who have endured the struggle, those who have cried through the night, those who have fought battles in silence and still kept the faith. The weight of your crown requires muscles that only the struggle can build. See, when you see a king or a queen sitting in majesty, you admire the glory, but you don't see the grind. You don't see the nights they wrestled with doubt, the enemies they had to outlast, the betrayals they had to overcome, the loneliness they had to endure. The throne is not gifted. It is earned through the furnace of struggle. And the reason you've been fighting battle after battle is not because God doesn't love you, but because He loves you too much to put a crown on an untested head. If the struggle didn't stretch you, the crown would break you. If the battle didn't strengthen you, the throne would crush you. Think about weight training. You don't build muscle by sitting on the couch. You build muscle by putting weight on your shoulders and resisting it. The more resistance you push against, the stronger you become. And that is exactly how the struggle works in your life. Every tear, every setback, every disappointment, it was resistance training. God was building spiritual muscle in you. He was building endurance, perseverance, wisdom, patience, and faith. And now, when the crown is finally placed on your head, you'll have the neck to hold it and the back to carry it. The truth is, destiny is heavy. Glory is heavy. Responsibility is heavy. And if you step into it unprepared, it will destroy you. That's why God allows you to go through seasons of struggle first. Because while you're crying, He's building. While you're waiting, He's working. While you're fighting, He's forming you. And the pain you feel is not wasted. It's producing something in you that ease and comfort never could. Comfort never builds strength. Ease never develops endurance. Success never teaches resilience. Only struggle produces those qualities. Look at Joseph. Before he wore the crown in Egypt, he was thrown in a pit, sold as a slave, and locked in prison. He could have quit in the pit, but the pit was producing strength. He could have given up in slavery, but slavery was producing endurance. He could have lost hope in prison, but prison was producing patience. And by the time he stood in the palace, he wasn't a spoiled boy with dreams. He was a man with strength to carry a nation. The crown required strength, and the struggle produced it. Look at David. Before he ever sat on the throne, he fought lions, bears, and giants. He endured years of being chased by Saul, hiding in caves, betrayed by friends. He wasn't just being punished. He was being prepared. The struggle taught him how to fight, how to lead, how to trust God in the wilderness. And by the time he held the crown, he had the strength of a warrior, the heart of a worshiper, and the wisdom of a survivor. The struggle produced what the crown required. Some of you have been asking God, why am I still fighting? Why is life so hard? Why can't it just be easier for me? But God is saying, because your crown is heavier than you realize. If you knew what I was preparing you for, you'd understand why the struggle has to be this intense. You can't be trusted with authority if you've never endured adversity. You can't lead others if you've never learned how to follow God through hard places. You can't carry glory if you've never been crushed in private. The crown requires the strength that only the struggle can produce. Don't resent your struggle. Respect it, because it's doing something for you that nothing else can do. Struggle is the gym of the Spirit. Struggle is the classroom of kings. Struggle is the soil of greatness. And if you run from it, you run from your crown. But if you endure it, you'll come out of it stronger than you've ever been. You'll discover muscles in your soul you didn't know you had. You'll find faith you didn't know was possible. You'll uncover courage you didn't think belonged to you. That's what the struggle does. It reveals strength that's been hiding in you all along. And here's the thing. When you finally wear your crown, people will admire the glory, but they won't understand the story. They'll see the shine, but not the scars. They'll see the victory, but not the valleys. They'll see the throne, but not the tears. But you will know. You'll know that every scar was worth it. Every tear was necessary. Every fight was preparation. Because the crown you wear won't just sit on your head. It will rest on the foundation of every struggle you survived. Some of you right now feel like the struggle is going to break you. You feel like the weight is too much to bear. But I came to tell you, it's not breaking you, it's building you. It's not killing you, it's keeping you. And when you look back on this season, you will realize that it was in the struggle you found your strength. It was in the fight you found your faith. It was in the fire you found your focus. The crown requires the strength that only the struggle can produce. And the fact that you're still here proves that you are strong enough to handle it. So lift up your head. Square your shoulders. Don't run from the struggle. Embrace it. Don't despise the battle. Thank God for it. Because when the crown is finally placed on your head, you won't just be decorated, you'll be qualified. You won't just be elevated, you'll be prepared. You won't just look like royalty, you'll live like royalty. Because you've been trained, tested, and toughened by the struggle. The struggle is the gym. The crown is the reward. And when it's all said and done, you'll be able to stand tall, crown on your head, scars on your body, strength in your soul, and say, I'm not here because it was easy. I'm here because I endured the struggle that produced the strength for this crown. What you are going through right now feels endless. The nights feel long, the weight feels heavy, the pain feels permanent. But let me remind you today, the fight is temporary, but the reward is eternal. Trouble doesn't last always. Storms don't rage forever. Wounds don't bleed endlessly. Every battle has an expiration date. Every valley has a turning point. Every tear has a final drop. And if you can just endure the fight, if you can just hold on a little longer, the reward waiting for you will outweigh the struggle that tried to destroy you. This fight you're in right now, it is not forever. It's a season. It's a chapter. It's a moment in the bigger story of your life. But the crown that God has for you, the glory that He is preparing for you, the destiny He is calling you into, that is forever. That is eternal. That is unshakable. And when you finally step into what God has promised, you'll look back at the fight and say, it was worth it. The sleepless nights were worth it. The tears were worth it. The pain was worth it. Because what I gained in God is eternal, and nothing can take it away from me. The Apostle Paul said, our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Did you hear that? Light affliction, temporary trouble, fleeting pain. It feels heavy right now, but compared to the glory, it's light. It feels long right now, but compared to eternity, it's short. Your perspective determines your endurance. If you only see the pain, you'll quit. But if you see the promise beyond the pain, you'll push through. Because the fight is temporary, but the reward is eternal. Think about a woman in labor. The contractions are intense. The pain is real. The struggle feels unbearable. But she endures it because she knows it's temporary. She knows that at the end of that pain, a new life is coming. And when she holds that child in her arms, she doesn't focus on the hours of pain. She focuses on the eternal joy of what was birthed. That's you right now. You are in labor. The pain is temporary, but the crown God is birthing in you will last forever. Don't faint in the middle of the process. Push. Because the reward is on the other side of the pain. The devil wants you to believe that your fight is forever. He whispers, you'll always be broke. You'll always be sick. You'll always be alone. You'll always be stuck. But the devil is a liar. He wants you to confuse temporary battles with permanent identity. Just because you're in a fight doesn't mean you're a failure. Just because you're in a storm doesn't mean you're stuck. Just because you're in the valley doesn't mean you're finished. This is temporary. It's passing through. It's moving on. And when it's over, you'll still be standing stronger than before. The reward, on the other hand, is not temporary. It's eternal. When God crowns you, no man can uncrown you. When God blesses you, no devil can curse you. When God opens the door, no enemy can shut it. The crown he gives is everlasting. The peace he gives is unshakable. The joy he gives is unmovable. The destiny he gives is unstoppable. That's why the fight feels so fierce. Because the enemy knows what you're fighting for is not temporary. He's attacking you over something eternal. He's trying to discourage you, so you'll quit before you reach the reward. But if you refuse to quit, if you refuse to give up, you'll step into something that can never be taken from you. Look at Jesus on the cross. The nails were temporary. The thorns were temporary. The mockery was temporary. The grave was temporary. But the reward, salvation, resurrection, eternal life, that was eternal. He endured the temporary fight for the eternal reward. And now he sits at the right hand of the Father, crowned in glory that will never fade. If Jesus had to go through temporary suffering to receive eternal glory, so will you. But just like him, you will rise, and your crown will never be removed. The pain of the fight often blinds us to the promise of the reward. That's why you've got to lift your eyes. Stop focusing on the punches you're taking and start focusing on the crown that's waiting. Stop focusing on how tired you feel and start focusing on the eternal strength God is pouring into you. Because whatever you lose in the temporary, God is going to replace with something eternal. Lose friends. He'll give you destiny connections. Lose money. He'll give you provision that never runs out. Lose opportunities. He'll give you purpose that cannot be stolen. The fight may cost you something, but the reward will give you everything. Some of you are so close to the finish line, but the enemy is pressuring you to quit. He knows if you stop now, you'll never taste the eternal reward. But if you keep going, if you press a little further, if you endure a little longer, you're going to step into something that will change your life forever. Don't give up in the middle of the fight. You're almost there. Your crown is closer than you think. And let me tell you this, when you finally receive your reward, the pain of the fight won't even compare. You won't even remember the tears. You won't even feel the scars. You'll be so overwhelmed by the glory, the peace, the joy, the fulfillment, that you'll forget how hard the battle was. Just like a runner who collapses at the finish line, exhausted but victorious, you'll realize it was worth every step, every struggle, every sacrifice. Because the fight was temporary, but the reward is eternal. So lift your head. Wipe your tears. Keep swinging. Keep praying. Keep standing. The fight won't last forever, but the crown will. The valley will end, but the victory will remain. The pain will fade, but the promise will stand. You are closer than you think, stronger than you realize, and destined for a reward that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has imagined. The fight is temporary, but the reward is eternal. And if you endure to the end, you will wear the crown that was prepared for you before the foundation of the world. You've walked with me through this message, and by now I pray you see it clearer than ever. The battle you're facing is not here to break you. It's here to build you. Every battle is a classroom where God builds your character. The struggles you thought would destroy you have actually been shaping you. They've been chiseling away the fear, the doubt, the weakness, and revealing the warrior God already knew was inside you. And when the pressure comes, don't call it punishment. Call it preparation. Pressure is preparation, not punishment. It's God's way of equipping you for something greater than where you are now. The weight you feel is a sign of the crown you're called to carry. You can't step into destiny without learning how to handle the pressure. And yes, you may carry scars from the battles you've already fought. But let me remind you, your scars are not signs of defeat. They are proof of survival. They are the receipts that say, I've been through the fire and I came out. They are your testimony, your evidence, your story. Don't hide your scars, because somebody else's faith will rise when they see what you survived. The truth is, the crown requires the strength that only the struggle can produce. You can't wear a crown built for kings and queens if you never endured the weight of the fight. The glory of the crown is tied to the struggle of the process. Every tear, every prayer, every sleepless night has been forging the kind of strength you need to carry what God has prepared for you. And hear me clearly. The fight you're in right now is temporary, but the reward is eternal. Trouble won't last. Pain won't last. The storm won't last, but the crown God has promised you will last forever. That's why you can't quit now. You've come too far, fought too hard, and endured too much to let go before you get what God said is yours. So lift your head up, square your shoulders, step back into the ring. The devil thought this fight would make you give up, but what he didn't know is this battle is your training ground. This struggle is your preparation. This valley is your pathway to victory. The battle is proof that there's a crown waiting with your name on it. When you leave here today, I don't want you walking out defeated, weary, or questioning your worth. I want you walking out like a warrior who knows their battle is not in vain. I want you walking out with the fire to say, this fight is training me for my crown. And when the enemy tries to whisper that you're finished, remind him, I'm not finished, I'm being forged. I'm not destroyed, I'm being developed. I'm not buried, I'm being built. Because at the end of this fight, you will stand tall. You will rise with your crown. You will testify that the battle was worth it. And the glory God reveals in your life will silence every doubt, every fear, every enemy that tried to stop you. The battle you're facing is training for your crown. Don't quit. Don't faint. Don't let go. Because on the other side of this fight is your destiny, your calling, your eternal reward. And when you wear that crown, no one and nothing will be able to take it from you.